Okay, we are here to do the karmic read for Gemini. This read will also be for those that know somebody that is the zodiac sign, or if you're really struggling and you're getting to that lower frequency and you don't have the tools. This is why we do the general read, so that we have the tools and we're able to handle the astrology. Or for a karmic partner. Now, this can be for a masculine's karmic or a feminine's karmic, and you don't even have to be with them. It's in general their read and their astrology. So the crowning crystal that you guys have for this month that are Geminis, it's in reverse. And I've been finding this to be a very unique experience to do these reads, really to see from a higher and a lower frequency, both with the astrology and with the cards, how it's playing out. And I'm doing these all formattedly. I smudge stick the cards and they're coming out interesting, I'll say that. So with this crystal, we have blue tiger eye, and it is in reverse, which is kind of hard because regardless of the crystal that's coming out, it can be what the person needs. And especially if it's in reverse, it's really showing that they're not even saying such. So it's hard enough to not know what we need, let alone not even know that that would be a scenario or a way to look at something. So somehow subconsciously, this karmic Gemini is feeling that they're not on their path, and they don't even know that they're on their path. In the upright, it says, it's easy for me to see beyond the obvious. I am focused on my own scarred path, and it's in the reverse. So I don't feel this person knows what to do. Now, as I mentioned in the general zodiac, plus I covered the astrology as well as, you know, your romance house and everything else, and I pulled a ruin. For this particular read, I will mention the basic placements as well as look at the cards. Now, Neptune is going to be going retrograde in the 10th house. So at a career sector, let me look. Yes, that makes sense. Plus they have the 8th house activation. Now, the eclipse is going to be in the 8th house. Saturn will be going direct. 8th house links into life, death, money, legacies. But it's sort of the way in which we surround ourselves with people that we can depend on. But we're selecting and learning a karmic lesson relating into how that is impossible and where that's possible. It also can link into people that are passed over. Let's get into the read. In the past tense position, they may have dealt with some of their challenges. They may have felt that they dealt with some of the toxic energies, belief systems, purging, healing. And again, with it, you know, thinking that they've moved out of the energy and not understanding that Saturn has moved from Aquarius, which was their 9th house, which there might have been more fluid movement, a lot of, you know, things to do with education and what they wanted to upskill with, looking at their purpose and feeling that they knew. Now, it is the card Capricorn, okay? It links to Capricorn. It is the Devil card. It is in reverse. So I do feel it's making a subject matter surrounding a time frame of the first of the month when Saturn goes direct, reflecting back going, why is this happening? Just as they feel they were overcoming energies and maybe coming to a very simple place in their life where it was calm, where things were working, it appears to be it's taking them by surprise. But they do feel that they've just come over a few hurdles and dealt with maybe purging or releasing a belief system, but I feel it's been environmental. Currently, where they're feeling is very isolated, very, very unstable. This can be due to the Capricorn placement, belief systems, things falling away. You know, Saturn and Pluto can be quite strict. Pluto more so currently, yes, it's retrograde. And we're also having Chiron this month going retrograde. Let me check. I didn't mention it. July the 11th. So, you know, that Mars aspect that you guys are going to be having for, you know, this zodiac sign is going to be in the 11th house. So it can be people around them that are really letting them down, maybe not feeling as emotionally connected to it, not quite knowing why. Looking at their hopes and dreams, and again, just not knowing why things aren't coming together for them. Moving forward. Wow. Due to the fact that tools have not been developed in this person's life, how do I place it? We have this crystal connected to this karmic energy in reverse. And we all have been in a similar energy to a degree when we've been none the wiser. You know, the Leo King even mentions it. Once you're awake, you wish you could have a lobotomy. You're kind of taking more direct accountability, realizing the aspect of codependency, enabling victim consciousness. When we don't know these subjects, we know what we do, okay? This is kind of like a tactical response to, instead of dealing with the adversity, you know, wanting to get back into that nest energy, looking at the future and feeling very disorientated by it. Again, the second house placement does link into professional resources, their material value. Some things could be breaking, things aren't working. Penny little, the sky's falling down. Now, Saturn direct is like, okay, your 8th house is coming up. Have you surrounded yourself with energies that are going to work with you? Are you working with the energies surround you? Could be something to the degree of, you know, money not coming in so well, which again, what's going on in the collective, it makes sense. Nevertheless, I do feel that there can be something coming to the forefront of clarity linking in with the Capricorn eclipse. This could be underhanded activity. I'm going to pull a clarifier on it so I'm away from the ego, but that's what I'm sensing, especially with the 8th house placement. Yeah, this could... I don't like this. Okay, I'm going to explain what I'm sensing. This could be a story that has been told to someone to manipulate a scenario. Now, the reason I was picking this, and I'm like, no, you can't go that way. Yeah, people can. It's possible. Okay. Being that the 8th house is there and Capricorn is moving into the 8th house, if this has been, it's a bit like chucking a sickie and saying you have gastro. I'm just giving you an analogy. And I know it's the most gruesome kind of analogy, but it's an analogy nevertheless. Moving forward, it's almost like going back to the ways of being and trying to use an excuse factor to win the opponent over, but it's something they've used before, and I feel they're bringing themselves undone. Now, because the 8th house placement is there and they're moving into the future, Pluto will be going direct soon, and that's going to be interesting. That is on, it's around October, so there's a bit more time there, but it's a 4th of October, correct? The card that I've got is to do with the widow. Now, I did say that the 8th house placement can link into life, death, legacies. It's either something has been doctored on a piece of paperwork or manipulated in a sense of a verbal context of a situation. Especially linking in that Gemini is the throat chakra and communication. We have the nodes in Gemini. There is a lot of karmic lessons around you know, this transformation. It's a new vibration of change within this person if they know this is occurring. Now, career sector and money, I've pulled the cards for. I do feel this is relating into a male energy. Now, it's interesting because there could be a boss involved. There could be money that they're directly receiving from a male energy or a romantic partner. Which again, it does make sense because it is the 8th house, and 8th house can be shared resources. Whatever's coming up to do with that, it can be resurrecting, you know, a memory and an emotion. Is this put on or is this real? Yeah, something to do with family. You're probably going to see my face doing this all through these karmic reads because I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled. Anyhow. Okay. Like I said, I'm sensing a lie. Something in a lie in a sense of communication or a delay in something coming through. This can be to do with a legacy and asset. I do feel a subject matter surrounding some sort of money coming in. There's a delay. Now, it also can be untrue documentation. And again, Mercury's retrograde, so it does make sense. It does fall in the 2nd house of professional resources, material value, land, etc. So it does make sense that that's there. Now, career sector, absolute boredom. Maybe not working, maybe not wanting to do something. or maybe continuing to do something that doesn't resonate with them anymore, but not putting a lot of energy into it due to the fact that we're going to have Chiron in Aries. Nobody, there's a karmic lesson surrounding this, and again, it does make sense. The first house placement of Gemini with the nodes, it's the North Node. We're meant to be moving towards that Mercury energy, that Gemini energy. But for Geminis collectively, they're going to be transforming over the next 2.5 years. A new version of themselves is going to be coming through. But this is old ways of doing things, not letting go, holding on to it. So, you know, sometimes in life when we are not happy what we're doing, but we're in that codependent frequency of feeling that this is the way it is, it's very 3D, we can't accept anything outside of that. I do feel this person is continuing on with this frequency and maybe not understanding that, you know, sometimes we need to own our power and make decisions. There's a lack of income coming through here at a financial level. Yeah, some of them aren't working, but there is this potential for those that are. It just feels there's a block and there's a delay, and maybe due to potentially, a loss of money in this. This can even be unreliable working hours and things to that degree. Okay, the people they're surrounding themselves with can be a little bit immature, but they also may have met either the divine through this energy or through... Okay, that's interesting. What's coming up there? Why is this page energy here? I do feel they're trying to communicate with a person that knows counterpart energy. And it's like they're trying to come across as they're friendly. And they're saying that some things have changed and that they're wanting to turn over a new leaf. Some of them, it may be a child. They could also be making statements about moving forward and wanting family to get back together if there's children involved. Okay, family. Yeah, things aren't going according to plan. There could be an energy of the reason why, you know, they're needing this person, but I feel they're having to deal with this adversity on their own. There also could be a third-party energy. If this person is in a relationship and they're a twin, I do feel there's two energies here. They're also not looking at them the same way. It's like thinking they can react and relate to this person in the same way, but the person's not, they're not biting. That's all I'm hearing, they're not biting. Now, the eclipse in Capricorn, that is hitting their 8th house. Whatever's coming up, it is going to be a change for the better, but they're not seeing it that way. They're almost losing faith in themselves. It's feeling like it's not, something's not working. There's a correlation to family. There's a correlation to finances. It feels everything's coming in at once. I also feel a lot of socialization and not understanding that eclipse energies can affect our vibration, especially with the Cancer eclipse and then Mercury in Cancer. It's, you know, a lot of the social aspects coming through. And I do feel also, it's really weird. This is a really weird reading. At this location I'm mentioning with tribe, I do feel there is an intent to communicate. If they're separate from DM or DF, it feels as though there's two energies here. So although they might be trying to relay messages to this individual, if they're separated, which I'm feeling they are, they still have their eye on another person. And it's someone who's closely connected. Yeah, this isn't working for them. They're coming across like they're happy-go-lucky. They're wanting to socialize. I almost feel universe is blocking something because there's something they're needing to say. They're trying to give them chances to say something that, you know, that they're not letting go, though. They're continuing this frequency. Something hasn't come full cycle. I do feel they're going to have a second chance. Now, as I mentioned with the general read for Geminis, by the time we reach the blue moon in Cancer, which is going to be on the 20th, this is a second chance to actually change the second house placement. Plus, again, it will sort of link in with Venus going direct about themselves, Mercury going direct, which is still very, although it's in Cancer, it's still really about them. There's a lot of changes that need to be happening here. And by the time we reach the end of the month, this is an opportunity for them to then show their best foot forward, or to be addressing the energies and the downloads that's been given to them. But they're not getting that what they've actually had is a second opportunity. They're looking at it like, no, they want to keep everything the same. They don't want a cycle to end. So this can become, this is where some of this loyalty to certain ways of being is actually affecting their frequency. Let's get into the romance. This is interesting. Okay, overall, I'm picking this energy is potentially delusional energy. Fantasizing, manifesting, attempting to look at things from a certain perspective. But again, they're not allowing this transformation and change to come through. This may be very financially driven, which does make sense because the 8th house placement's there. And even in the past, maybe there was... they were hiding money and keeping it to themselves. But now, whatever is occurring, I don't feel this is working. Now, if they are in a karmic connection, like with twin, I'm sensing at the moment there's a lot of burdens they're hiding. This can be, again, a lot of expenses. Again, hiding something. This person may even be, if they're in the connection, but I'm really not, I feel they're away a lot. I don't know why I'm sensing that, either away or not within this connection. They may have already left and it's still playing out in a sense of a belief system that they're still attached and they can try and bring themselves back into this equation. Now, it may be playing out where they're stating that they've got a lot of dramas going on, that they don't know how to deal with this adversity, they're ill-equipped. But they're moving through with a lot of Aries energy, and this Aries energy and the healing may be actually wanting to make amends with people, which does make sense. But at the same time, I feel it's more to do with very abrupt communication. This is a conversation going on where the person is saying, no, we can't move past this. Or it's just, I'm hearing no. Because the only energy that's coming through, in a sense that is straight to the point, is that it's very straight to the point. It's very strong and firm. And I feel more this is the DM or the DF. And the sentence is no. Yeah, no. They're really stuck, though. They're feeling as though they can't let this go. There is a bit of ego here. Yeah, ego. Thought. Okay. Ooh. Any endeavors they had together, I feel there's thought coming up as to why, and I'm saying this even as Aries energy. It's like, look at the bull. It's like maybe wondering why, even if, again, I did mention child energy, why this person is sowing their seeds elsewhere now, taking their ventures elsewhere, not giving to this connection, because this is a separation. So I just feel there's no connection here. It may be at a communication level. And I asked what the DM or DF is feeling, and it was pretty much saying, trying to be patient, but longing. And the longing energy I was getting was really longing to get out. Daydreaming. Yeah, seeing the falseness. This was not a dream. Yeah, becoming very, very hard to make a judgment. Maybe due to situations playing out, but okay, I do feel some of them may have heard that there is another energy, and I do feel there was a third party energy at a point, very separate to DM or DF. I do feel this is coming out, and this person actually isn't phased. Now, overall, the advice and the outcome is this is it's a cycle, okay? It's ending. There can be a family-related dynamic coming up this month. It is going to turn in your favour. If you feel they don't see your value, I do feel your desires are going to be met. So just be patient. I'm going to see you mid-month. For your love reading, for those of you that are just Gemini, like I said, if you wanted to look at the karmic energy of how they're dealing with adversity and looking at twin flames, if you're not a twin flame, you can just look at the general side of it. Otherwise, I will see you during the month. And I do have your mid-month love reading for all Geminis. Love and light.